Hey, how are you doing? This is Yasmin Jairo again. I'm going to make my third video about my third book, and this one is going to be more shorter than the previous two. Because I had planned to keep them short as an introduction in which I just read a couple of pages of the book to you, so that you can get to know the book better and more intelligently can decide if the book is right for you. But then I kind of kept on going, and I also elaborated and explained some things, and they ended up being about an hour. And I also kind of read the first half of the book to you, which is probably a good thing, but it was not really planned that way. Okay, I've had a bit of we can say maybe a busy weekend this past weekend. It's now Monday. About 9:30 in the evening, or 9:30, as you would say. I've written another book. It was not really planned, but I thought I did plan, of course, to write another book, and more than one. I've kind of planned out to write one or two books a year for the next 10 years or so. And about 10 titles I've already put on pre-order at kobo.com. So if you liked the first title of my third series, the Mama Azema series, in English the title is For You. If you've read it as an ebook or as a paperback and you liked it, and you want to read more books from that series, then you can order them already as a pre-order, and when I have finished them, then you will receive them. So there is more good stuff coming, and that's a good thing. This book that I wrote this weekend, it's about writing. It's mostly for authors and writers. The title, if I translate it into English, would sound the ultimate winning strategy for writers. I have by now I've earned more than 370 euros in royalties from the sales of my books, If you have bought any of them, thank you for that. I hope that the book that you bought was more valuable to you than the money that you paid for. So anyway, we can you probably know that my let's say core business, or what I do for a living, is selling greeting cards door to door on behalf of the establishment Hiro, which I founded in 2015. And that the book writing is a bit like a second business maybe, or something that I do as an aside next to my work. And in by earning more than 370 euros in royalties in about 6 or 7 months, we can still very how do you say that, carefully, or yeah, maybe that's the right word. We can very carefully say that I am experiencing success as an author, because we measure success in monetary points, in earned euros or earned dollars. You can call it a small success, which is fine, of course, but it's a good start. And it can, once you've done something once, you can also repeat it again, and you can also increase it by doing more of the stuff that you did that created that success. And so this book that I wrote this weekend is about that, about what has worked the best for me as an author to achieve that success. So there are of course a handful of things that have been helpful, like self-publishing with Kobo, which is great because then they make your book available in about 190 countries in the world. So that is really great, and I'm very thankful for them, to them for that. I've also thanked them via email for that, because it's just, if I had to do that on my own, you know, to like go out and go into to visit people and to contact people in all those countries, and to ask them to have my books on sale in all those countries and all of that, it would just take me like a lifetime to get that done. So, and with Kobo you just self-publish it and they do that for you, so that is really awesome. Yeah, and that is of course one of the things that is very helpful, that has created that success, but there are There are, like I said, a handful of other things that also helped, and there is one thing that has worked the best, I think, and that is the ultimate winning strategy, and that is what my newest book is about. Before we, oh yeah, and I have like donated most of those earnings, most of those royalties to charities. Uh, I have it. I have put it into the foundation. I give it life, and from there, there are then automatically donations made every month to all kinds of different charities here in the Netherlands, and also a few sport clubs, because and from our company, the establishment Hiro, we also donate a part of the proceeds of the earnings. We also donate to all those charities here, and we support a few of those sport clubs because I think that it is a good thing that they keep the youth, the young people in motion, and that they keep them like engaged in sports, in healthy activities, which is of course a better use of their time than when they would be on the streets or going to the bars to drink or whatever. So that is why we support a couple of those clubs. One is a hockey club. There is also it is not football, because in America and so football is different. Football is that very rough sport where they can make a touchdown and something, and where they wear the helmets and the things. We support a soccer club, and in the Dutch language we call that football, but it is a different sport. And there was another one, a tennis club. We also support that, and some of the charities that we support with the profits from our company, and also from the royalties of my clubs. We are now making a kind of a change with that. In the beginning, we supported all kinds of charities, and now the recent couple of months, we are making a change to support more the things that are here locally, because the people that live here in our city and the cities and villages around it know those charities and those sports clubs the best, and they've seen them, they've heard them, they pass them by as they go to work and go to the city and so on. So that's maybe a little better than supporting all kinds of things who are like all across the country. Because most of our customers live in our city, and some of them live in cities and villages here close to our city. And a few of them are like helping people who don't have enough money for their basic needs. Like nowadays, you have to have a certain amount of money every month so that you can live. That's maybe like 700 euros if you're maybe living by yourself, or maybe 1,000 or 1,200 if you are living with two or three people, with a family. And with that you can like pay the rent, you pay the gas and electricity, and you pay the water and the groceries and just the things for living. And those people who are maybe like temporarily unemployed or something, and they cannot provide for their basic needs, then they can go to these charities that are here in Doetinchem, where I live, and then they like support them by giving them groceries for uh, for uh, uh, for uh, for maybe a portion of what you would usually spend for those groceries at the supermarket. And they have a store there, and they can buy like clothing, and also used clothing that still looks good for a small fraction of what they would cost them if they would buy it in the city, in the stores. And we of course we donate also for to charities with that that are for the people who have illnesses like cancer, and for children who have cancer, uh, and for Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, and with this arthrose. I don't know how you say that in English. It's something with the bones. Uh, so that are a couple of the charities that we support. And if you have bought any of my books, then the money that you paid, the most part of it went to all of those charities. So thank you on behalf of them. Okay, maybe I can show you something before we start, and then I will start reading you this book, my third one, The Recipe for Happiness. It's kind of a short booklet, but the value of the book is not in the number of pages. Like I said, the value in the book for the reader is in the actions that they can take from what they learn, and the results that they get from taking those actions. So if the booklet is like 25 pages or something, and in those uh, in those 25 pages you learn about 10 things that you can do to reduce stress and to reduce anxiety, and to be more relaxed, and to enjoy yourself more, and to be more happy. And then you do like 5 of those things and it's working, you feel a bit better, or you do all 10 of those things, and you're starting to really feel good. Then that is the value that you get, so then it does not matter if the book was 25 pages or 250 pages. It's about it's about the value that you get from reading it and from doing those things. So maybe like I write mostly non-fiction, so if I would like write a novel, like a made-up story, uh, there's nothing wrong with that, all the movies that we see are made-up stories, it's mostly BS. That doesn't happen in real life. But if I was like to write a novel like that, and then it's of course much better if it's a much thicker book, than with 25 pages. It would be a really, really, really short story. So for the genre that I write in, the number of pages is not that important. The most important thing is the value that is in the book, that is in those pages, and the value is then the actions that you can take, and the results that you get from taking those actions. Okay, in this introductory video where I mentioned that I have a couple of lookalikes, and that you know that you are seeing me because of the scar that I have, because a lump had one time grown there that has been cut away, and this necklace. I've shown you also these things behind me, my vision board and my goals and so on. But I didn't show you what was on here. And there you have like four papers in a row, and on that I track all of my sales, and I can show you very quickly that here, by the way, when I started selling in the beginning, that was for a foundation that was from 2 other people, and that was in end of 2015, and then eventually I I started selling on behalf of my company, and since then I've kept track of all the sales that I made. So yeah, it starts in the beginning of 2016. But I have been selling sets of greeting cards a couple of months before that. But anyway, here uh, here we see again we can see why I am not a cameraman, but I think you can see it now. And here is January 2016, and then I made 9 sales, and then in February 25, and then in March 18, and then we had these are the sales for a set of greeting cards or for this gift mug that we have, and then below that for a pen or a lighter, and then for orders, and for this this means like like a membership, like a subscription. So if you buy this, then you get for a year, yeah, you get every month a couple of greeting cards and some little presents. So that's because the lady that has bought this, that is one of our best customers, who is now with us for about 3 years or so. Because she has like birthdays like every month, and she also thanks the people that she know on a regular basis. So every month she gets 3 different greeting cards, one for birthdays, one for saying thank you, and one for how do I say that in English? When someone is being ill or with the flu, or being down a bit or something, then you send them this card for like get well soon or cheer up or something. So that is the cards that she receives. And here in March she then became a member the first time. And below that we have the other sales for like for example there was for a short while there was here a store that had opened in our city, and in it there were all kinds of tables there, and then you could rent a table there, and then display all your products on this table, and someone would like be there at that store, and you wouldn't have to be there, so they would like sell your products for you, and every month you just paid the rent of that table, and that was it. And for a short while, a couple of weeks, I also had my greeting cards and gift mugs there at that store. So those are in the category of like the other sales. And sadly enough, it's that store that had been there didn't last for a long time. It is sad because, of course, for the people who was running it, but it was also a great opportunity to like have my products in a physical store, and someone else to assist me with selling it. But yeah, eventually there were a couple of sales made, so someone bought a mug and someone bought a set of greeting cards from us. So it was uh, it was it was not much, but anyway, it was not completely for nothing. So okay, and well, there you see all the sales for every month. And here in August, I made 63 sales uh, with the sets of greeting cards or the gift mugs, and we had an order. Someone ordered one of our products via our website, and it was like a combination product in the beginning that we had. It was it was a set of greeting cards and a gift mug in one package. I remembered that still because I was so very excited when I got my first order, and I have like put in the effort to make it a beautiful box, you know, wrapped in beautiful paper. And then after the box was sent, they got a thank you with the mail in a greeting card telling this man thank you very much for ordering with us. And then after that they also got like this savings booklet that I made, and I can show you one. It looks like this. It looks like this, and the idea is that if you buy something with us from us about 5 times, so that's not very often, but let's say every year for Christmas you buy a set of greeting cards for Christmas and New Year, and then every time that you buy you get a little present and a little coupon, and you can put the coupon into your savings booklet, like you here see. There are 2, and you only need 5 more. And then when you have completed that, then you can send us this savings booklet back, and you get a little present sent to you that you see here in wrapped in gold paper. So then the man who has ordered with us, he also got one of those books. And of course, many of our other customers also got a thank you card and also this savings booklet. And here we have then let's 2000. I don't know if you can see it, like here 2016. Then we, oh yeah, in August I had like my best month because I made 63 sales and we had one order. And then we go to 2017, and here here you see, oh yeah, here in, let's go back in 2016. I also sold in April I sold 15 pens, and I've actually written a book about selling pens. Then I mean like printed pens with your company logo or your website address on those pens, and that is you can do it yourself, or you can hire someone to do that for you. So you then provide a job for someone, and he starts in sales, but then with a very low threshold, you know, very easily with selling these pens. And you also donate some of the money to charities, and because it is effective marketing, you know, it's field marketing, and the people will keep the pen. They will, and they want to help out, so they will like gladly pay $1 or €1 for a pen to support some charities, and they will keep the pen. They won't throw it away like they do with your flyers and with your folders and all your other marketing material. And so yeah, I've written a book about that, and if you are in business for yourself, when I have translated that one into English, you might wanna get a copy of that one because it's very valuable. Okay, so my best in 2016 was 63 sales in 1 month and one order, and then in 2017 my best was in November. 86 sales. So those were mostly like sets of greeting cards for here 86. I'm obviously not a cameraman. Okay, but anyway, those were mostly sales from sets of greeting cards for Christmas and the New Year, because I started selling them early in November. And then we go to 2018, last year, and then in September I had made 103 sales. That's my best month until now. And below that you see the like other sales, and in that month I also got 37 euros from other sales, and in this case they were from my book sales, so the royalties. And you can see that I earned in June, August, September, November, December, that I earned from my book sales as well, and most of that that went into the foundation Give It Life, and from there it automatically is donated to various different charities that I told you about in the beginning of this video. And we are now in 2019, of course. And let's take a quick look. See, in January I had 51 sales, and I sold also 14 pens. And February last month I made 77 sales and sold 4 pens, and I received 35 euros from royalties. So maybe you have noticed that I have been selling every month. That you can see here in the sales, and here and here and there. And I've been doing that for this is now the 39th month in a row. So I am practicing the ultimate winning strategy for entrepreneurs, which is also the title of one of my books. And I wanted to say the main idea of that book is, but maybe I should save that for another video. Okay, I am getting a bit of thirsty. Yeah, thirsty, so I am gonna take a bit of water, if you don't mind. And yeah, you should, because we are now I'm going to read a couple of pages of the Recipe for Happiness for you, and maybe you want to grab something to drink as well, coffee, tea, or whatever you like. Okay, it is just water in this mineral water bottle. I don't drink, I never do that. When I was like in my 20s, like 22, 23, 24 years old, I did. And then I drank lots of beer and whiskey also, and I got drunk quite a few times, and I think that I also made an ass out of myself quite a few times because of that. And then when I got this job at working in this restaurant as a dishwasher, then that was in 2007, Then I still did drink alcohol, and eventually, like uh, 2 years later or so, it was in the summer when it was really hot, around my birthday. I still remember it. It was the 10th of July, a few days after my birthday. And before that, I had worked a lot. I'd made long hours. That was kind of common there, you know, in the kitchen. If you start at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, then the lunch is starting, you know, people ordering soups and so on. And then in the evening, they can still order like food until about 9 o'clock. I worked there in the smaller kitchen, which was attached to a sauna. So all those people that came there, they ordered food from us and from me in that kitchen. And well, anyway, I also had worked most weekends, and those were the most busy days. And and with my birthday on the 6th of July, I also had drank a lot, really a lot. So after my birthday, I was very tired, and also maybe uh, uh, on top of that, I was even more exhausted because I had drank so much. And then I kind of collapsed, you know, I fell, and I don't know, it uh, maybe scared me a little bit. Uh, uh, I thought to myself, if I keep on going like this, that it would not end well for me. So since then I didn't drink anymore. In the beginning it was a bit hard, you know, because it became a habit and so on. But I kind of replaced the habit of drinking with other things, you know. So I think that was there are two things that were the most important in stopping with the drinking of alcohol. The first one is that I kind of replaced that habit with other ones. I got like really fanatical with playing chess. I still love that game, and it also helps to relax. And I also was a member of the local chess club here in our city for maybe 2 years or so, and I was reading books about it, and I was playing at the club, and I was also playing online. So I focused on that instead of on the drinking, and that was like, and I also started to read more. I read more books, and also in that time I had stumbled upon Jim Rohn. I stumbled upon his videos on YouTube, so I also watched a lot of those, and then from that also those of Brian Tracy and Les Brown and so on. And so I kind of replaced that habit with other more constructive habits. That was a major thing that helped. And the second thing was what I didn't do or what I avoided. So the bars where you can go and drink, and these discos and these clubs in the city where all the young people and also some of the older people go to go out and to dance and to drink and so on. I just avoided those places. I didn't went there, and after work we used to sit with our colleagues and also have a drink, have a beer or two or something, and I kind of avoided that a little bit until I felt comfortable drinking like a tea or some juice with them while they were drinking beer. And that's a bit about how I overcame that destructive habit. And I see that I've completely wandered off from the subject of this video, and then I see that the video is like going on for about 52 minutes by now, and I had planned it to be for just 10 minutes or so. But well, like you say, what the heck, maybe it's a good thing, and maybe you have learned something, and maybe it is valuable to you or to someone that you know, and yeah, maybe it's good for like relating or building a relationship. I've been very open to you about my work, and I think that is very important to just be open and honest. Yeah, because I've like I am not I'm not like stupid or anything, so I of course realize that that this video could be much better. It could be much more professionally made. It could be scripted, but that like in the news, that I would just read you what I am going to say to you, and that while I read that to you, that I all the time look in the camera, you know, and now I'm forgetting to look in it all the time, as you have noticed, and so on. But I uh, but I think that even if that's the case, even with a video with the quality of this kind as it is and everything, and that there is not a huge building with a first class office with all kinds of fancy things and prizes and whatever. That is just of little importance. The most important thing is just being honest, being open, being honest, and being real. So I've, for example, written a book about sales, and in it I describe how salespeople and business people can double their sales and double their profits. And then it is good to know that I have experience in sales, and that I have doubled my sales and my profits. So that's what I mean with being honest. Even though this video is not the most professional one there is. Okay, before I start reading you the book, I can show you just very quickly two more things. The first one is my first series of books, and this is the Dutch edition of that. And if I translate the title, it would say the greatest, biggest, and most spectacular book in the world. And that is not and that is how do you call that? This is a way of promoting something, to call it the greatest and the best and the biggest, just like Donald Trump does, you know. So it was not meant to brag or anything. It was just meant to promote it as a great book. Because it, well, I am very proud of it, because it is my first series of books, my first 10, the Victorious series, which, by the way, I have translated now into English, all 10 of the titles, and I have self-published them, so you can get them in different stores. And oh yeah, I this weekend, you know, when I wrote my 21st book, I have also self-published with two other companies that I didn't know about until recently, and the benefit of that is that it takes about like 24 hours or 36 or uh, uh, 48 hours before your book that you self-published is available in a store through this self-publishing company. So my books, the Dutch titles and also the English translations of them, and also the complete Victorious series that I've bundled into a book, like I did with this one. I have also self-published with those two other self-publishing companies, and the great thing about that is that this week, probably Wednesday or Thursday, my books will be available at about 500 book stores worldwide. And because I've before that self-published also with Kobo, who makes them available in 190 countries, and also with Amazon and with Lulu and Barnes and Noble. So at the end of this week, my books will be available at more than 500 different bookstores, internet stores, and so on worldwide. And I'm very happy and excited about that. So which means that what is important about that for you, my possible reader or customer or book lover, book lover, yeah. That at the end of this week you can get my books at your favorite bookstore. So whatever store you like to shop for books, maybe for paperbacks or ebooks or audiobooks, or perhaps you have a favorite store that you have like a subscription to it. Excuse me. Uh, like Kobo Plus, which is great. You pay like $9.99 a month, and then you can read more than 200 titles of ebooks, which is great. And maybe you are there, or maybe you are with another one like Script or something, where you also pay just a small monthly subscription fee, and then you can read a lot of books. But anyway, wherever you prefer to shop for books. Uh, at the end of this week, uh, they or my books will probably be at your favorite bookstore because they will be available at about 500 places or even more worldwide. I've also self-published with Draft to Digital, and if you then go to my author website on bookstoread.com, which is from Drive to Digital, there they have like you have my books there like this, my biography and the other books that I've written, and then if you click on a book, you then go to the book page and you see the description, what the book is about, and you also see where you can buy the book, so where it is available in what kind of stores, which is also a great feature. Yeah, the two companies that I self-published with are called streetlib.com, and the other is called Publish Drive. And if that's important to know if you are also an author or planning to write and publish your book. And as you have, I recommend that you also self-publish with all of those companies that I've mentioned to reach the most people. And I would also recommend that you write more books, because then you can help more people, and you also increase your chances of getting noticed because you have written a bunch of books. Okay, so there you have some tips for other authors. Yeah, as you have noticed, I have mentioned all of them because I am very happy and thankful that they provide these services, and that they are distributing my books worldwide. So I mention all of them, and I am thankful to all of them, regardless of what what are the favorite ones to shoppers or to buyers of books and so on. They are all of them are helping me a lot, and therefore I'm very thankful to all of them. Okay, and now what I was telling you about is about this my first bundle. This is the Dutch edition of my first 10 books. And of course, because this is my first one, I'm very proud of that. Yeah, this is what it looks like, and yeah, I've so like I said, I've translated all of these titles into English, and I have also made a bundle with all those 10 titles, like I did with this Dutch edition, and you can get the whole bundle, uh, all the 10 titles in one book or in one ebook in English, and it is called the Victorious series, and the cover is gold like this, and on the cover are all the titles written that are in the bundle, and plus you get an bonus book and free 11th title, and as like introductory price, yeah, you call it like that. You can now get it for like $15, something like that. So you that will be for a limited amount of time, because it's an introductory price. But you have a great deal with that, great bargain, because it would be like $1.50 for a book, and you get so that is not that's really a bargain to have 11 books for about $15. And because there are different subjects, different books, including books about finance, about business, about happiness. One is for it's like a program for banks, but it is also useful to you because it's about finance, and then you can learn some things that you can apply to your money affairs. And one is about selling and business, and one is about the poems that I've written, and some messages that I've sent to this girl that I was falling in love with back then. And there are also some some jokes that I also had sent her, and so they are also in a book, which is in the bundle. And yeah, the two parts of my autobiography, they are called Victory and Victory 2. And then in those I just have written about how my life went from being a little boy living in Bosnia and going to school there, and then and living there and growing up, and then the war in Bosnia had begun, and the shooting was there all the time, and then eventually it became too dangerous to stay there where we had lived in our house, so we had to move and leave everything behind, and then we went to this other place into another house, and then we moved from that also again because the enemies had come too close to us, and near our house a house was blown up uh, with this rocket or something. And we also moved from that into another place, and to like into this building that was for people who had fled. And eventually we went to the Netherlands, and we are very lucky that we had that opportunity, and that I had an aunt here. That was the oldest sister of my father, and she kind of made that possible for a big part. So I'm very thankful to her, and sadly enough, she had passed away about 2 or 3 years ago, and unfortunately enough, she has not experienced the last 2 years in which I have written quite a couple of books, and also earned royalties from them. And that's too bad that she didn't experience that. I think she would be very proud, I hope. So, what can you do? It's just life, you know. Yeah, what can you do? About that, we can do nothing, of course. We just the cycle of life, you know. We are born and we live, and then eventually we die. That's how it goes. But what we can do is value our time more, and use it better, and spend more of it with our family, so that when we die or when they die, that we don't have any regrets about, that we haven't spent enough time with them while they were here. Oh yeah, there's well, I said 2 things, but maybe 3 things. I don't, I like, I don't know if you would like categorize this as an interview, like an official interview, but let's like call it an interview anyway. It is because of this, you know, I've like if with some of those publishing companies, if you publish your book, you get some promotional things that they give you, so you can promote your books, and one of those is like this press release about your book, and then you can send that to the local newspapers and medias and so on, and then they can write an article about you and about your book. And I have done that like a couple of times, but uh, it seems that uh, that uh, that is that will take quite some time before that ever happens, you know. And so why wait for that if you can get someone else to interview you, you know? So someone who like knows you and likes you and who has like an interest in what you do, and it can maybe be even better than with some journalist that you don't have any connection with. So it's kind of an out of the box idea, maybe you can do it as well. So he asked me like 11 questions, and I've answered the questions here. I've written them down. They are in Dutch, and I will have to I will have to post them on our fan page, and I will also have to translate them into English and then post them again. Oh yeah, by the way, that was like today I made like a fan page on Facebook. I had like something like that, but it was in Dutch, and I believe that the readers of my books are living worldwide and not only in the Netherlands, and most people in the world are speaking English, so an English fan page would be better. And I've like quickly made it today, and it's called Yasmin Hairo Books and Fans, and you can find it on Facebook, and there I like you will also read there. I am most of the time I'm busy. I'm or working or doing something work related, you know, and I have a business to run, and this writing is like my second business, you might say. So I and I almost never use the telephone, but I am open to like readers and customers of mine, and customers of my and buyers of my books, and they can always email me. You can find my email address at that fan page, and I've also written there that every Sunday that I would be there for a while, so that we can have more live conversation than just sending messages. So if you like my work, then you can go there and keep in touch with me and visit it like on a regular basis, because on that I will share and post some things, some new releases and so on. And when I have my next audiobook finished, I will post it there. And when I have my next video finished, I will post it there, and there you can see it. And then I will read the first part of another book of mine to you. But of course, you can also visit my website, and also there you can find my email. But I thought maybe it was convenient for people and for readers of my books, and perhaps some fans. I know that I have like 2 fans, because 2 of these guys on YouTube had told me that they were fans of mine, so that was kind of great to hear. Yeah, you can from now on you can always and also a lot of people have Facebook, so it's convenient to just look up this page. I will repeat it once again. I hope that the quality of the sound of this video is kind of okay. The page on Facebook is called Yasmin Hayro Books and Fans. So just go there, and there you will get updates from all the things that I'm doing with my writings. And you can also get there these videos in which I read you the first part of my books. Yeah, and then the last thing that I'm going to show you, just wait a second to get it. It is this, and these are my notes. These are my notes for my books. Yeah. So well, this is the thing for the taxes. You know, if you self-publish, you have to fill in one of these. See, what else? Oh yeah, this is maybe also like a good thing I have to show you. I don't know why the image is so dark. Maybe I should like put up an extra lamp or something. That's what they usually do. But anyway, okay. Yeah, it is this. Oh yeah, in my first title called "Build Your Fortune" in English, I explained to you my patented financial system, and in the first video that I made, I also read you the first half of that book, and then I recommend you to every month, every time that you receive your paycheck or your salary, to save like 10% of that. If you are smart, you will save 20 or 30%. But 10% of it is a good start, and that you then after that should divide that into threes, and like I have done here, this is a savings account, and this is the deposito account. It's where you like put your savings in that account, and then for like 1, 2, 10 or 20 years, and you have to leave it there for that amount of time. And this was my and the third part, you should invest, and then many years ago this was my portfolio with stocks and bonds and so on. So it's like I said, it's very important to being honest, and it's also with non-fiction it is important that you can show that you have experience with the things that you teach. So I showed you this, that you now know that I obviously have experience with investing and finance and so on. Okay, but I wanted to show you actually something else, and that are my notes. Oops. Oh yeah, here. These are the notes from my first book, in the Dutch edition, and the first edition of my first book. So after that I've made some changes, and I've published a second edition and a third edition. Uh, let's see. And this is just when I was writing my notes, and then eventually I had typed it out, and then I printed it out, and the first version became like this. See, and now the third edition, of course, looks much better than this with a golden cover and so on. So this is also the way of how I've written. Well, maybe half of my books in this way that I first made notes and thought about it, and then after that I typed it out, and then eventually published it. And the other half of my books, I more did that just from memory. So like my autobiography, the Victory book, and Victory the second, and Victory the third. I just sat down behind my laptop. I rolled up my sleeves and I started typing. I started typing on how my life went from when I was a little boy living in Bosnia until now. So that is how I did that. Here there are like also notes for other books, and some ideas for maybe a few more titles. So I am going to put this back, and then have a little bit more water, and after that I will read for you the beginning of the recipe for happiness, like I have promised. Oh yeah. Maybe I can show you like one more thing. With this. You see this envelope. This is from Terre des Hommes, and you can see here my company name that it was sent to. And this is from see, again I forgot to look into the camera, but anyway, as because we donate part of the profits of the establishment High Road to various charities here in our community, and because I also donate the most part of my royalties to those charities here in our community. We get mail from them, from these charities. Uh, so and to be more productive. And I've learned this thing from Dan S. Kennedy, which is also a great entrepreneur and a great writer. That 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 you can like easily do your mail just once a week or once a month. You can let it pile up and do it just once a week or once a month, and all the whole week or the whole month. Then you don't have to think about it, and you can just focus on your work. So I do that, and because we because we donate every month to various charities from my company and from my books. We get mail on a regular basis from these charities, thanking us uh, and asking for more donations. That's also what they do. And like this, these are greeting cards that we get from them. The one with the heart is from the Heart Foundation, and the other one is also from the Heart Foundation. And this one is from the Charity for Refugees in the Netherlands. And I like donating to this charity for refugees a lot because, as you know, I am and we are refugees. So I think because we have went. I and our family have went through all of that. I know how important it is to have people to help you to start over and build a life again after you have been forced to leave everything behind in your own country. So I like donating to that charity. So yeah, and I do the mail like about once a month, in my email once or twice or a week. But yeah, so about every month I have a pile of mail, and most of it is from these charities that we support. Well, okay then, and this has like become a really long video, but I hope you don't mind that. And now I will start reading to you the book. Okay, book Recipe for Happiness. A book has been written about a true story, about a man who was imprisoned in a concentration camp at the time of Hitler, and he was happy. So, happiness has nothing to do with your circumstances, as you obviously see from that example, which is a true story. Happiness has everything to do with your choice to be happy, regardless of your circumstances. So choose to be happy. Of course, there are tougher times in life, like when someone you love dies. That's part of life. Those times of grief you just have to go through and process. Processing is best done by talking about it, to get it off your chest regularly, or by writing about it. If you write down a situation or your feelings about it, then it's on paper and it is less in your head. Writing is a good outlet. Processing is also done well by staying busy. As you might have noticed, I do this thing. I stay busy. I work like most of the time. Whether that is in your work or your hobby, they say a rolling stone does not collect moss. So stay busy. Okay, next page. Now you have learned a good lesson about how to better process negative life experiences, but you are here for the recipe for happiness, right? Well, the lesson you have learned will help to make the recipe work better for you. And here it comes then. And then we go to the next page. You have probably read a local newspaper and you regularly check the news, the daily news on television. Have you noticed that about 99% of it is bad news, only misery? If you did not know better, you would think that the whole world is going to perish. If it's a habit for you to watch the news every day for half an hour, have you ever wondered if that is healthy for you? Does it make you happy? Of course not. The easiest way to change a habit is by replacing it with a new habit. Like I've done with the drinking, just I replaced it with other habits like reading and playing chess, and oh yeah, I also did go out for a walk like almost every day. I forgot to tell you that. But okay, so from today on, instead of watching the worldly news half an hour a day, next page, watch comedy for half an hour a day. Mandatory. Every day. Well, now at 8:30 in the evening, it's not news time, but comedy time. And if you watch comedy, you relax and you laugh, and that sounds already healthier, doesn't it? Well, laughing every day is easy to do, right? Of course, anyone can do that, and replacing your old bad habit in this way with a nice, healthy new habit is probably easier than you thought. Except for the fact that relaxation is good for you. When you laugh, also your body makes endorphins. Those are natural happiness substances. Well, after 21 days of daily watching comedy, you will have formed a new habit. So watch comedy every day. You can watch a lot of stand-up comedy on YouTube for free. Simple, sure, but you have to do it every day until you don't have to think about it anymore and you just start doing it automatically. Some happiness ingredients in a row. Watch comedy every day at least 1 hour. Eat ice cream and treat someone with an ice cream. I personally love eating ice cream, and you probably do too. Work out, throw out your frustration by like playing tennis or going for a run around the block. Pee in the yard, and if you get a fine for urinating in public, then laugh your ass off. That's what probably happen. Just have some fun, you know. Do not worry. Life is too short for that. By staying busy, you do not have time to worry. Hug the people that you love. That is also a healthy thing to do. Go enjoy yourself a cup of coffee or tea. This, you can also how do you say that? You could also say treat yourself with a drink of not alcohol, but a coffee or a tea, and maybe some pie or something somewhere in the city, and just enjoy yourself. And if you don't want to do that alone, you can always ask someone to go with you. And then the next happiness ingredient is buy or save a cat or some other pet. I have read somewhere that it has been proven that having a pet has some real health benefits to people, and it's also much fun. So you should get yourself a pet. Okay, the next one, when you receive money, immediately save a part of it. That's a very smart thing to do, and that will also help you to feel better about yourself, because you will always know that you have some money saved, and doesn't matter how much or how little you have saved. Just knowing that you have some money saved will always make you feel better than when you wouldn't save anything. Okay, and the next one. Don't let the media scare you. The world is not getting worse. The world is getting better. And I believe that is just a fact, because most of the people in the world are working, and then when they are free in the weekends, they are socializing and visiting and having time for themselves and so on. And most of the people are also really fighting and working to 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 just have a good life and a good living. So it's it is not like they say on the news. Uh, most of the people are not doing those kind of things that they show. This is just a small percentage of the people, and uh, you should not concern yourself too much about that, because there are like police stations and police people everywhere, so they can go after those people, that small percentage, and you should not concern yourself too much about that. Uh, and you should most definitely not watch every day for an hour or half an hour at those things being broadcasted. That does not help you. Uh, not it's not that it not only not helps you, it I think in the long term it is not healthy for you. So just just replace that with watching comedy every day, and you will immediately feel better. So how about that for for some value in a book? You can now stop this video, go to YouTube, put on some comedy, and start laughing and feeling better within 5 or 10 minutes. So how about getting results from a book that works? Okay, thank you very much for listening and watching, and thank you for your time. Like I said, the book about happiness is a bit short, but in it are some good things, great actions that you could take, and soon get results from them. So there is some good value in it, and you can get the booklet. Like I said, at the end of this week, in more than 500 different places, but for now you can probably get it at Kobo as an ebook, or Lulu as an paperback, or at Amazon. So, and yeah, I've told you a bit about what happens with the royalties that I receive. I've told you about that most of it I give to charities, and I've also told you a bit about those charities, and also shown you the thank yous and the mail that we get from those charities. There is also another place where I have self-published. I believe it is called gumroad.com, and there, if you self-publish with them, you can decide to donate a part of your royalties to some charities, and I've also done that. And those charities are maybe more known to the people who live outside of the Netherlands, who live in America and so on, like Shepherding the Mind, and uh, Oxfam America, and there are also some others. So you can also get like a copy of my book there, and then there you can support a charity that you know better than the ones that we support here. If I am correct, it is called gumroad.com. Yeah, but I will like post a link to my books there, and on our fan page on Facebook, on our Yasmin Hairo books and fans page, and so then you can like buy it there if you want to support those charities, and I will post also different links to different bookstores, so that you can, if you want, that you can buy my books at your favorite bookstore. Okay, so man, this is the video has really become longer than I had planned, but anyway, maybe it's a good thing, like I said previously. You've gotten to know me a little bit better, and yeah, maybe it is it's a bit dawned on me the last time when I was making the second or the third video, that I kind of enjoyed it to do it, so like now, and maybe that is also a reason why it became a much longer video than I had planned. So then that's a good thing to do. Okay, now I will. I'm going to say goodbye, and then after that I will post this video so that you can watch it at YouTube, and also at our Yasmin Hairo Books and Fans page at Facebook. So thanks again for watching, and I hope to hear from you. You can always leave me a message. Okay, bye bye.